Hello and welcome to a second edition of G Sports Universe. Got my two co-hosts here, Brian and Sihle. Without wasting any further minutes, let's jump straight into it. It's the big EPL of the weekend games, EPL games, games. The first game is Man City, the very first game, big game, a very early midday, 2:30. City will play Liverpool. It's a clash of the top of the log. City just came from a 4-4 draw against Chelsea. They are a bit leaky at the back. And Liverpool came from a 3-0 win against Bournemouth. So it's a very tight one.
It's a very, very tight one, Kobe. It's a very, very tight one. Hello to our viewers. As Kobe has said, I'm Brian, and we going towards a very, very big weekend in the Premier League. The first game of the weekend on Saturday, it's Manchester City against Liverpool. It's the Etihad, eh? It's the Etihad, yes. It's going to be a very, very big game, of course. Man City coming from a 4-4 draw against Chelsea, where they were surprised by Chelsea. No one expected that performance from Chelsea. That's what happened on the day. It wasn't City who were were low on performance on that day. They were the usual City, just that Chelsea came with surprises, and I like that about Chelsea. I like that about Mauricio Pochettino. So enough about Chelsea. I think that this game against Liverpool and City, it's going to be a very, very big game. Very, very hard game to predict. Edge of the seat staff on both benches and both supporters. It's going to be a very, very high intense game. So I hand over to Sihle.
Yeah, it's a very massive game we have this weekend on Saturday. The first game, I think it will be won in the midfield, because when I'm looking at the absence of Kevin De Bruyne, I think they need Kevin. I think Manchester City needs Kevin De Bruyne in this match. When I'm looking at Liverpool, they bolstered their midfield. They bought a lot of quality players in that midfield. So, I think if they are able to win the game tomorrow, sorry, on Saturday, it will be a very big momentum or booster for them to have a really great season this season. So I think Liverpool have a good chance of having a good season if they do win this game, because in the reverse fixture they'll have to host um, Manchester City at Anfield, and we all know that it's very difficult to beat them in at its Anfield. So yeah.
Sure. City are top of the log with 28 points. Liverpool are second with 27 points. At the end of that game, who you think will top the log?
I'm gonna put my money on Liverpool.
Well, I'm also gonna go with Sihle. I'm going with Liverpool. It's a big game, and I think Liverpool are very dangerous that they can shift 3 goals on City's defense on Saturday, and I think City can get that consolation goal at home. Etihad.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very good game. I think this is a game that will be won with chances. If any team get the chance, they must use it. Yeah, leapfrog Newcastle, and if Newcastle win, United are in danger on Sunday. So, but before we get on the Sunday one, Chelsea Newcastle.
It's a very, very big game there, Kobe. But I think you made a mistake here. Chelsea cannot leapfrog Newcastle. They're on 20 points. Newcastle are on 20 points and Chelsea are on 16 points. So they can only be able to reach 19 points if they do win against Newcastle. I think Chelsea can beat Newcastle. It's a big game, but Chelsea can beat Newcastle at Stamford Bridge because Newcastle, they are up and down this season. I don't know what's wrong with them. They've just been beaten by Bournemouth in their last game, 2-0. So no one would have thought Newcastle would have been beaten by Bournemouth 2-0. Not taking away anything from Bournemouth, they are a good team. But then Newcastle is Newcastle. So I'll give Chelsea that game because of their form in the last two games or three.
Yeah, it's a tight one. Chelsea are picking up, and Newcastle are slowly losing their temper.
Yeah, looking at both teams, I think both teams have the chance of winning them. But for me, I'll just call it a draw for me because Chelsea this season hasn't been performing just like last season. But when they played against Manchester City, we saw potential there. They do have a strong attacking um, strength in them. I'm not so sure about their defense. And Newcastle is a very well balanced team. It's just that it depends on the day. But if like Gordon is playing well, they have a good chance of winning that game.
Yeah, very valid point there. Very big game. Newcastle. I'll add on to that, Brian. Newcastle are a very good team, but I think they need to add on some players. They're playing quite a number of competitions, so they don't have that much depth in their bench. I think they need to add on that department. And Sunday, 3 o'clock, it's another big game. It's a clash of the mid of the table game. Aston Villa and Spurs. Spurs are on 26 points and Villa on 25 points. Villa on fifth and Spurs are on fourth. So it is a big one. And Aston Villa are scoring goals, and Spurs have upped their socks without Harry Kane. Siqale ngala umsihlezi namhlanje.
Yeah, I think Aston Villa was the surprise package this season. They've been performing very very well. I think no one expected them to be playing this good. You can just see the position they're in on the log standings. They are above Brighton. They are above Newcastle. Those are the teams that most people would think would be on top of Aston Villa. So it's going to be very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, both teams have been very impressive.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another big game on Sunday. Barring that Spurs lost their last two games, I think they've lost two now. They've had, I think, if I'm not mistaken, seven games in a row they've won, and we were even starting to say, can they push until it's Christmas? Of course, what happens if you stay up in Premier League until it's Christmas. But then it did not happen last season with Arsenal. They were the first team. But then coming back to this game, I think Unai Emre. We all know Unai Emre from I think Villarreal, Sevilla, and PSG. He's such a very great coach. He's up top there with the very best, your Jurgen Klopps, of Pep Guardiola's, and I think he's bring Aston Villa to be such a very very big giant. I think each and every team that comes to Villa Park now know what to expect. They know that it's a team which means business now. And I think Spurs are up for a big game here. If they are to win, they have to grind and grind until the end. Because I think the game is at Villa Park. And yeah, if Aston Villa win, they go past Spurs because they are fifth with 25 points and Spurs are fourth with 26 points. So it's all to play for.
Yeah, all to play for Sunday. That's not the last game. There's another one also play for United and Everton.
Well, yeah, I have to say my team, Manchester United, are sixth with 21 points. We have to we have to up our gears. we have to pull up our socks. I have to say, each and every player have to pull up their socks on this squad. I hear Lisandro Martinez is back. I hear Luke Shaw is back. I hear Hoyland is back from injury. But I don't think Lisandro Martinez and Luke Shaw might be risk so fast because I think they've trained 2 days or something like that. But then I think United should win, and Everton, not taking away anything from Everton, not that I support United and I'm being biased, but then I think United should win, yeah, but not easily. But I think they should win.
Yeah, they should win. Taking into consideration that Everton are second team from the bottom and they won their previous game 3-2 in Selhurst Park. Very surprising results.
Yeah, it was very, very surprising. Looking at them in the log, they're right at the relegation zone. So it's gonna be, I think for them, they might go for a draw at least. But I think Manchester United will be playing for that win. But I'm very disappointed in Marcus Rashford's form this season because last season what he was doing, he has basically has been in Manchester United and has been playing very well. So I'm very disappointed in Rashford, and we are expecting him to score. He's like the number 9. So if he's not receiving those passes, those crosses, and coming in, it's really gonna be difficult for the team.
I think Bruno Fernandes has to come closer to Hoyland. I think they have to get those combinations. If Bruno Fernandes do play closer to Hoyland, they might get those combinations. Got that boy's got power. That boy's got speed. So if Bruno do come closer to that boy and gives him those sort of passes that can give him a chance to take a shot, he can score goals.
Well, there you have it. You've had it from the knowledgeable. Well, it's one of the big one, United and Everton. If one could say Everton are not a struggling team, I don't know which football would you be watching. But I don't know
Yeah.
if one would say United are a struggling team because they just beat Luton Town 1-0, newly promoted team with 1-0. So it's a battle of the strugglers. We'll see you on Sunday. Have a good one.